It's me, Kwani. We're just gonna hop right into it. This is night four. Yeah, night four of Night Call on the Judge case. I just gave that stupid detective bitch all the information I had. She said, "Hey, the guy that you thought was it actually isn't. He has an alibi." So it shortens it, but I'm salty about it. But yeah, let's get into this night. I need to start picking up more passengers because I'm losing a lot of money. I don't think I've made any money in this game yet. You start whistling some songs that's been playing in your head since you woke up that you don't know why. It's gonna be a long night. Get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 4. There's a lot of information this night. Oh, there's an important person right next to me. And is that a robot? There's a robot on me. Like, if there wasn't an important person right here, I would get that robot. I'll see you next time, Pathfinder. Oh! You're the lawyer that fucking protects molesters. You immediately recognize the passenger who just climbed into the back seat of your cab. His face has been plastered all over the news for the last few weeks. He's a lawyer. A lawyer who's representing a terrorist. Gives you an address and you start driving. He holds your gaze in the rearview mirror like he's trying to read your mind. You drive across a virtually empty Paris. Behind you, the nervous lawyer consults his notes. Everything alright? He answers without looking up. Yeah. You get the message and leave him alone. Continue driving without saying a word. Your passenger mutters, "Ugh. Why did he have to say that to the cops? He's not taking it seriously. He doesn't get it. Idiot." There again. He says it again. Is he contradicting himself or just... You glance in your mirror. The lawyer looks like a smaller version of himself. Sure everything's alright? He closes his eyes and remains silent for a while. You see him start to break. I can't take it anymore. He takes a deep breath. Loses control of his voice. This guy is a real asshole. He's not just a monster, he's a total idiot. Tears form at the corners of his eyes. I've never seen such a moronic defendant. You know what it's like to defend a moron? You know what it's like to get only 3 hours of sleep a night so you can defend a fucking moron? Do you have any idea? He yells so loudly the windows shake. What are you talking about? Yes, of course I'm talking about him. Who else? Who else could I possibly be talking about? You've seen my face in all the magazines, all the papers, right? His voice teeters, blind with rage. That's me, the terrorist's best friend, a traitor to his own country. He pauses, barely, just the time to take a deep breath. Jesus fucking Christ already! He kicks the seat in front of him. Jesus! He calms himself down, steadies his breath. I am the one who agreed to it. I actually fought to represent him. It's my own damn fault I'm being dragged through the mud. He raises his hand, snickers. Yeah, I admit it. First, I thought it was pretty great. Being on TV, all the interviews, journalists asking my opinion about everything. I shook so many hands, said so many words, sentences, that I actually said nothing. When I worked in the hood, not a single person cared about my work. And now in 5 hours, I have to be on the radio. And 7, on TV. He pauses, breathes. His voice sounds further and further away. You should get some rest. He chuckles. Rest? No way. Actually, it's simple. I almost never sleep. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. He sits up. It's barbaric. Disgusting. So horrific, it's almost unreal. He lets out a sigh that's from somewhere deep in his body. And then I discover my client bought nails. The nails that were in the bombs at the corner market. And he kept the receipt. He kept the fucking receipt. Folded it in half and slipped it into his wallet. That's what I see when I close my eyes. Disemboweled bodies and a receipt for €2 worth of nails. Why? He raises his voice quite high. Why, for God's sake? He thought he could expense it when he got to heaven? He pauses. So stupid. So dangerous. He disgusts me. He revolts me. I'm gonna say nothing. His fit of rage subsides. His fingers are shaking. When I signed on, I thought I'd be representing someone crazy. And I find out he's just a moron who's played too many video games. The guy's never even read the holy book they use to justify their so-called acts of martyrdom. He read a few passages online. Passages. Online. Do you have any idea what a complete moron he is? He chuckles. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I shouldn't have said all that. Takes a deep breath. I don't have anyone else to talk with about it. All the other lawyers avoid me, like I'm the plague. My mother can't understand why I'm doing this. She's so ashamed that she went back to Algeria. He's shaking. I get the shame. What I don't get is why people just lump things together. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a murderer. No one else would do it. Yeah, so what? Do I get a prize? No. I get spit on every day. Why? For a moron. We could hang him right here, right now, and no one, I'm telling you, would shed a tear. He stays quiet for a moment, catches your gaze. That's why I keep doing this. He slows his breathing. For equality. A country was founded on it. His rights have been abused far too often for me to look the other way. The anger seems to be lifting. The taxi's almost reached its destination. In the back seat, the lawyer is much calmer. His voice is soft. I needed to be reminded of this. This will serve as a lesson. He looks at you in the mirror and bores into you with his gaze. It's odd, isn't it? And I ran into you tonight? I mean, as if... No, forget it. Pull over. He pays his fare. Wait, don't take this the wrong way, but... He hands you another bill. Here. This is for you. For listening, for hearing what I had to say. Thank you. I need some fucking money. You slide the bill into your pocket. He looks relieved, gathers his belongings strewn across the back seat. As he's getting out of the cab, you realize he left an envelope behind. For a second, one tiny second, you hesitate. It could be something important. That's mine. He gets out of the taxi, walks a few steps away, and turns around to wave at you before entering a bistro. You turn around and grab the envelope your suspect left behind. You open it when you get home tonight. You drive off. Damn! You gave me, what, 20 bucks? I'll take it. Thanks. I don't understand how this works, though. So is tips, like, what goes directly to me, and then the money received goes to the, like, the stuff at the end? Because... the profits don't make sense. If it's 7 plus 20 plus 15, I don't know. I'll look at it at the end of this night. That was a good one. See, I like that lawyer guy, actually. I don't think he's the killer. Because he would kill the terrorist if he really didn't like him that much. Oh, another important guy. Oh, he's about to make a drive across the entire fucking city. Fuck. Oh no. You rub your eyes. Heavy. You rub your heavy eyes. Heavy from fatigue. Now you didn't get to read the rest because I wasn't looking at the screen. It's okay, I'll just kill myself in my free time. About to pick this guy up and be like, you ever think it's... life is meaningless while we're going like 100 down the street? Pull up in front of the address the central office gave you. A crepe joint. Quite a popular one by the looks of it, of the line spilling out the door onto the sidewalk. You sit for a moment. The door opens and a group of 30-somethings come into view. All the men and women are dressed like sporty running shoes or jeans, small shoulder bags. They're officers from the Paris Anti-Crime Squad in plain clothes. You sigh. They're brutish types. Ones who like to race, tackle, clobber. Ones who ruin the afternoons you spent wandering around Paris in your teens. After a bit, one of them pulls away from the group and comes over to your taxi. He opens the door and collapses into the back seat. Stocky, in Asian descent. You can see his muscles through his thick winter clothes. He smells like crepes and hard cider, and his face is bright red. Hey, what's up? I live near Turns. Chuckles as one of his colleagues rushes over to the taxi and pulls an imaginary gun from his coat, points to his badge and screams at you with a big smile on his face. What a douchebag! Other cop eventually backs off and you drive away. Sorry, man. We're having a going away party for a colleague and celebrating Christmas too. No worries. Passenger smiles and puts his fingers back on his temples. I drank too much. Shit. I'm a lightweight and they knew it. I think they were trying to loosen my tongue. His behavior changes abruptly like he's just seen a ghost. One question. Yes? Taxi drivers have some sort of policy or ethics code? No, we don't. He's clearly disappointed. That's okay. I trust you. I've been lying to my colleagues for years. I joined the squad 8 years ago, and they all think I'm in a relationship with a woman who lives in Strasbourg, and that we're going to get married. Oh shit, policy! Fuck, he meant like, kinda like therapists have, where like, I can't talk about- son of a bitch! Ah! I should've said yes. I wish he like, said what he meant. I thought he just meant roles. Like, we're not allowed to talk to one another. I'm a fucking dumbass. I should've said, I don't know what you mean. And that we're going to get married. He makes a strange gulping noise, like an air bubble bursting on the surface of a river. As soon as they get close to Strasbourg, I start making up stories. We've almost broken up 10 times. I convinced them we're trying to have a kid, but it hasn't worked yet. He sighs. Fuck! Saying it out loud is just the worst. His eyes are getting shiny. I'm gay. A deep breath. I'm getting married in a few weeks. To my boyfriend. Another breath. Longer. Deeper. No one at work knows. Not a soul. The next sentence comes out in a rush. He holds his breath the whole time. I like men. I've always liked men. I work in a police station and listen to their comments, to their jokes, all day long. When we catch a guy who's never done time before, we tell him briefly what he should expect. Talk about the violence and the... I say we because I'm in on it. Because I could say fag any time of the day without any prompting. The words roll off my tongue completely naturally. Fag. Finally looks up into your eye. They're not mean. They're cops. Not mean, just doing the job. He manages to flash a tiny crooked smile. You know what I'd really like? Pauses. I'd like to have them over for dinner. Everybody on the squad. I could see my place, play board games, something normal, you know? And then they could meet James. Is your partner, husband to be? Takes a moment to think about your question. Yes. Soon. Smiles at last, a genuine smile. Can you believe it? We're getting married in 2 weeks. After living together for 9 years, he's been willing to live in a lie. Does he hold it against you? He understands. He understands, or does he hold it against you? He understands? It's wild, but yes. He knows I love my job and couldn't possibly do anything else. He loves me enough to let me keep lying. He slowly shakes his head. But I can't keep going on like this. I have to... He freezes. Shit, my head is spinning. I don't feel so good. Why am I telling you all this? Why? He grabs onto the seat in front of him. Hey, can you pull over? Stop immediately. He opens the door and leans the top half of his body out. He throws up. There's an achievement blocking the way, I'm sorry. You open your window to air out the greasy smell of fried crepes and the sour scent of cider. A moment later, the cop sits back up. Okay, I'm all set. I got it all out. You start driving again. I'm sorry. Really. It's alright. I hate all that. These sausage parties, cheap alcohol, the lies. You nod while your passenger moans and quietly says, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. He pauses to catch his breath. Shit, I haven't barfed like that since last Easter. They made me drink this South African liquor, something with cream and cocoa. Nasty. I can still picture it. I was doing shots while they shouted my name. Karate Kid! Karate Kid! Karate Kid? He seems uncomfortable. It's my nickname on the squad. Karate. Yeah, I was a judo champion. And I'm a gook. So, he runs his hand along the sides of his body like he's showcasing it for the Home Shopping Network. So, Karate Kid. Yeah, I know. Makes no sense. I'm not gonna say it's racist, because it's not a race thing. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. It's racist. No, I didn't pick that! Damn it. You remain silent. I can't argue with that. But he stops. Everything's spinning again. Can you pull over? Repeat it last time. He opens the door, and he just head out, his torso, his arms. Sound makes your stomach churn, so you stare straight ahead. Can I ask you a question? More puke on the sidewalk, a little inside the vehicle. Go ahead. Fine, shoot. He sits up, prompts you to drive. So, here goes. What should I do? Should I keep on keeping on? Should I confess? Should I invite them to my wedding and surprise them? He pauses. It's a long one. Be straight with me, but you're not straight. But what would you do if you were me? If you were in my shoes? I think you're being hard on yourself. You're hurting yourself rather than trying to solve the problem. You're not going to change your sexual orientation or leave your husband. So there aren't a ton of alternatives. You have to find a new profession, you have to leave here, you have to tell them. Tell them? Wow. I've got to tell them. He looks at you in the mirror. Can you take me somewhere else, if you don't mind? I don't mind. My colleagues are at a bar. I'll go see them. Tell them everything. If I don't do it now, then I'll never do it. A smile of relief spreads across his face. It's not just the alcohol talking. Yes. But I think it's about the 10th time I've gotten wasted this month. You're right. I'm hurting myself. He gives you the new address. I need to tell them now. I feel terrible, but I think I'll feel better if I speak to them directly. His headache's apparently back, and it's knocked him out a bit. You're used to having drunk people in your cab. Actually, the majority of your Saturday night passengers are drunk. I don't know how to tell them about all this. From the tone of his voice, you can tell he's beginning to panic. I don't think I'm ready. Passenger stares hard at you. You can tell your silence is giving him doubts. I want to go home. He sighs. It's not a good idea to talk to them while my blood alcohol level's so high. Thank you. The remainder of the ride is long. You can see he's having trouble sitting still. Once or twice he senses he's about to break and change his mind. Then nothing. He appears to calm down and remains completely still, lost in his own head. Keep an eye on the road. You have almost reached your destination. In the back seat, passengers almost asleep. Park in front of a small townhouse. There's a light on upstairs. She's still up. I'm gonna talk to James. He looks at you. I don't really remember everything I said, but thank you. He chuckles. I hope this taxi ride wasn't just my imagination. He pays and gets out of the taxi. You listen to his clumsy footsteps on the cobblestones. He climbs the few steps up to the door. Before he has time to find his keys, the door opens. Warm, soft light floods the streets. You drive away. 34-cent tip? Why is everyone here so cheap? Goddamn. Any important people tonight? No. Let's get her. She's close. Let's see. 4.5 kilometers for 15. Doesn't take that much time either. Hell yeah. Passenger who enters your cab seems familiar to you. She gives you her address and you start to drive. Isn't this the bitch that, like, stalked me? You glance back at her from time to time, trying to remember where you've seen her before. It's no use. Suddenly she gives you a little pout, clearly annoyed by your insistent gaze. Sorry, your face seems familiar to me. She breathes an audible sigh. Could be. She pauses deliberately. I'm in porn. Oh, well, that's why I recognize her. That's who she is. An actress. A former actress. You've seen her in a couple of movies a few years ago. That's probably why you recognize my face. Your mouth suddenly goes dry. Her eyes and voice showed no sign of emotion whatsoever. She might as well have said she were a teacher or a dentist. Do you like it? No. You're not just an actress. That's unusual. Oh. I'm gonna say oh, because that's what I would say. Oh. Does it shock you? No, it's just I didn't expect it. That's why your face looks familiar to me. Probably. You watch a lot of porn? You shake your head no, even before the attack. No, not that much. Either way, you're pretty. Rare. Or you're lying. I'm just busy these days. She leans forward. By the way, do you like that kind of porn? I'm just asking because I'm curious about what people like to watch. It's not really my thing. How's it not my thing? I watched it apparently. Enough to recognize her after she hasn't been in it in a few years. It's okay to talk about it, you know. I'll tell the truth. It's true, I hardly watch any. Hardly any. Yeah. You blush slightly. Come on, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Do you prefer younger women? Older women? Yeah or no is not an answer. Am I saying yeah to the older or the younger women? I don't know. I'm just gonna say yeah. Yeah. Alright, fine. Do you watch movies? Do you read magazines? Yeah, magazines. Magazines? But don't you... You know it's not the Middle Ages anymore. She smiles. I like the pictures. There's no awful screenplay, no blah blah blah, only images. There you have it. She's observing you as you talk. Thanks. I haven't looked into that side of the business, but it might be worth it. She gives you a smile. Thanks anyway. And sorry for all the personal questions. Can't help reading in her eyes a touch of satisfaction, as if she had enjoyed asking you all those questions. Before long, you arrive at the address your passenger had given you. You have trouble parking. None of the streetlights are working. It's nothing stranger than an unlit Paris street in the middle of the night. The client gives you a slight cough behind you. Wouldn't mind staying here until I'm in the building. If it don't work, the lights aren't working. She doesn't even finish her sentence. No problem. Thanks, I have to say I've been feeling a little insecure lately. All of her energy suddenly seems to have vanished. She hesitates a moment, as if she can feel connection with the killer before speaking. Wait, what? She hesitates a moment as if she could feel your connection with the killer before speaking. I knew one of the victims of the serial killer. Nathalia? I know her pretty well, in fact. We worked together and sometimes she babysat my son. She was a great girl. She starts talking about her friend. Who she was, who she had been seeing, how she'd changed just before dying. You make a mental note of the new information. I didn't think I'd get a new clue from a random person. I'll stay here until you're in your building, okay? Thank you. She hands you the fare and exits the cab slowly, crossing the street in total darkness to the door of her building. You remember that night? The pain, the stab of the knife. Oh, okay, I got stabbed, not shot. If only you had turned your head, you would have seen your assailant's face. Maybe they would have killed you that night. Maybe your attacker would have already spotted you in your cab. The passenger waves to you as the building door closes. You wave back. Fear slowly spreads through your body. Breathe in slowly and drive away. kind of want to get more information, but I really need to make more money. I haven't been making any money these days. Let's see where she needs to go. If it's close, I'll do it. But if it's far, I'm not, and I'm just slow down a bit. I've just been hit with a migraine. Crack your window. Icy air fills the cab. You need to rest. You need coffee. You need to close your eyes. Just 1 minute. One tiny minute. You don't need to sleep. Raise your head. You see yourself sitting in the back seat. Your gut clenches. No, it's more like someone is pulling your guts out. Yeah, I look like shit, I know. No surprise considering all the crap I eat, right? He smirks. Maybe it's a smile, you can't quite tell. I've just got one thing to say. It won't take too long. You'll be able to get back to defending the weak and the poor right after. Maybe cleaning up your reputation and that pretty face of yours. It occurred to me, since your wife left you haven't gotten laid, have you? Must be hard on morale, huh? And I mean, there were opportunities. There was Cynthia, is that her name? Whether she changed her bag of piss. He lets out a snicker. Why, that chick you never called back. What was her name again? Julie? Exactly. He smiles. Julie. Julie. Pretty Julie. When was it? 5 months back? 6 maybe? I don't know anymore. A passenger, a smile. Numbers swapped in the taxi. Coffee. Haircut a bit too short. But you're into short hair, aren't you? You like it when they look like dudes, don't you? No. You lower your eyes. Bits and pieces of the coffee date start to resurface. Why didn't you call her back? Julie, she left you messages. The last syllable hangs in the air. She wanted to see you again. Julie. The last syllable shimmers. She wanted to keep conversing with you. Julie. The last syllable burns. Leave me the fuck alone. And go where? I've had enough, thanks. Now you're gonna listen to me, man. As soon as you're finished doing your thing with that cop bitch, you're gonna call Julie. And you're gonna fuck her. You cringe. Stop using that kind of language. What kind? What I say? You know exactly what you just said. You fuck? Fuck her? Fuck Julie? Shut your fucking mouth. His guttural laugh grates on your nerves. Let me tell you why you don't have the balls to call Julie back. Because that Julie, she was smarter than you. Because you knew she was gonna talk about shit you wouldn't understand. Because you're too stupid. His posture shifts. It's almost imperceptible, but it's like he is melting into the back seat. You're too stupid. You lose your temper, you turn around and scream at him. Shut the fuck up already! He has vanished. You're alone in the cab. A truck passes you. The sounds of the city slowly come back to life. A metro in the distance. A party on the first floor of a nearby building. You turn the car on, but let your fingers linger on the keys. The metal's neither warm nor cold. Just reassuring. You stay like that for a second before driving off. Oh, there's information right behind me. I'm gonna go to this. Unless there's someone important right now. No one important, so I'm gonna get this motherfucking info, boy. Let's see. The police archives look like any other building in Paris. No sign, nothing to make it stand out, but this is where all the case files and criminal records are stored. You know the place well. For several months, you spent a lot of time with the woman who directs it. She was a regular passenger, calling upon you almost every night, first as a driver, and then you could see her shape from across the street. Try to prevent your brain from going there, but it's a mind of its own. She's as beautiful as ever. You get out of the cab, cross over to the sidewalk on the other side. Pauline. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised by your request. She lights a cigarette. She still has that cold, distant look about her. But you know it's just a facade. You don't smoke anymore. No, I'm trying to quit. She has trouble articulating with a cigarette in her mouth. Good luck with that. I just can't manage. She runs a hand through her hair. Her wedding band shines under the streetlight. You're freezing. Listen, I'm sure you know I'm not allowed to give you this kind of information. But if what you said was true, then you get the impression she's reaching for your side. Yeah. Her hand brushes over your wound. You think about her body, her habits, how she used to call you in the middle of the night. I fished around, and the first 3 victims were not part of the data leak. Shit. Shit indeed. That means the information about Bisson, Bougrain, and the Argentinian one. Goradisher. Yes, that's it. Goradisher. It all came from someone who had access to their criminal records. That help? You attempt to smile. Yeah, it's better than nothing. Moment of silence. Helene takes a drag of her cigarette like there's no tomorrow. She paces a bit to warm herself up. You should come over sometime. What do you think? You grin. You and Helene used to sleep together when things with her husband weren't so good. Yeah, sounds good. Let me just finish all of this. Yeah, of course. Give me a call when all this is over. She looks deep into your eyes. You look down. Her hands are shaking. One last smile. She puts her cigarette out. Gotta run. You need a taxi? It's very kind of you, but Bruno's coming to pick me up in a little while. Good luck. She reaches out to you affectionately, then stops. You decide to cross the street to put some distance between you as quickly as possible. Get in your cab and rub your hands together. Time to get back to your shift. She didn't give me anything useful, I don't think. Pretty sure told me the same shit I already knew. Do a job or get more info? I'll try more info since that one was a bust. From outside, the Montparnasse store looks like any other shop. A plain, discreet front window with sliding doors. But inside, they sell handguns, machine guns, knives, and even grenades. It's your first time here, but you've already had its owner in your cab. The store opens really early so that patrons can come train at the shooting range. As you walk up to the counter, you hear the distant noise of gunshots under your feet. It's an unsettling experience. Can I help you? The owner speaking. An older woman with a hunched back. She's been selling weapons since the 70s. She's cheeky in a typical Parisian way, and her wrinkles carve craters across her face. Ah, it's you. It's been ages. Come closer. You make small talk and eventually decide to go for it. I have a question for you. About a weapon. You slide the photo of the shell across the counter. She looks slowly up at you. Where's the photo from? She's been doing this for years, and you doubt you can pull one over on her. A photographer friend. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here. You recoil at the bitterness in her voice. Listen, I'm just looking for information about this shell. I don't talk to filthy liars like you. Get out. She points to the door. Fuck, I should have told her the truth. The police gave it to me. Yeah, and just how did you end up with the police photos? I'm helping them out. You know perfectly well this lady never smiles, but something on her face shifts ever so slightly into what might be constructed as a small grin. I'm not surprised. They're always the type that want to want to help people out. She practically rips the photo out of your hand. You give her as many details as you can. She thinks for a while. The shop door is open and a woman, probably a cop from her appearance, comes in, greets the owner, and disappears downstairs. When she opens the door, it creaks and the smell of gunpowder spreads throughout the shop. It's funny. This doesn't fit with what you told me. The shell's in perfect shape. You told me the bullets are also completely clean. But it's old ammo. You can tell. There are no scratches, but there are a few oxidization stains. Her voice grows darker all of a sudden, like something escaped from her. In my opinion, it's from an old weapon, perfectly maintained by someone who knew what they were doing. In light of what you told me, I'd say it belonged to a cop or a soldier, or it could be a family weapon. It was a police service weapon in the 1970s. Either a cop held on to it or the guy you're looking for inherited it. That judge there, he's a pro. Raise your head to meet her gaze. Her old bones make that slight shift again. The one that can be construed as a smile. Or she, actually. You know, lots of women shoot. And I have classes if you have any lady friends who are interested. Back in your cab. Glance back at the shop. We don't know how this woman knew that. Anyway, you start your taxi. You have what you need to move forward with your investigation. And a coupon for a class on shooting automatic weapons. I'll take that. This night's lasting a while. I like it. I got a half tank of gas still, so I don't need gas. This guy with the mask looks weird, so I want to pick him up tonight. Pull over and stop at the gas station. I never clicked the gas station. Not a soul in sight. Lights between the pumps. Self-service here. You get paid directly at the pump. The mini mart over there must sell newspapers. Shit, I mean, I guess I do need newspapers still. Person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple questions. Place is as shady as ever. You're careful getting out of your cab. Let's see. Shop. Walk into the mini mart. There's a smell coming off the guy running the shop at this station. Hot dogs? Yup. Let's see. I'm gonna buy a lottery ticket. You win $1, even though I spent $5. All of a sudden, tonight doesn't seem so bad. Oh, I can't get any more. Let me buy a newspaper. And then I'll talk with the clerk. He'll examine the newspaper and the magazine covers. The serial killer's on the front page of all of them. It's crazy, isn't it? You'd think they'd caught him by now. The clerk smiles. You recognize the twinkle in the eye. This guy has something to tell you. Not a word from the guy behind the counter. Bill, on the other hand, cursed automatically as you put one foot out into the freezing cold. He didn't tell me anything. How'd I get a clue? Was it from the newspaper? I guess I'll fill up real quick. Let's fucking go. Get into your taxi and you drive away. Oh, I'm so salty that I hit the taxi. I didn't even mean, or the gas station. I didn't even mean to. I want to get to the robot. I want to do the robot. I don't want to do the robot, but I want to get to the robot. I'm going to Gear harness something. Alright, let's do it. Passenger who gets into your cab as well. She isn't human. Her face lights up and gives you quite a start. Good evening. My name is Ada. I am an automated attendant. Good evening, Ada. It is a pleasure to meet you. You are a cab driver and I need to go somewhere. Will you please take me to a place in Paris? You give a slow nod of consent. Good, that's settled. So, I'd like to go to a place in Paris, please. Start the car, casting the occasional furtive glance into the rearview mirror. Something about her attitude that's bothering you. Perhaps it's her oversized fingers bending every which way. You seem disconcerted, sir. How very unfortunate. Is there anything I can do to make you more comfortable? You don't know exactly where to look. Her screen, the face in her screen, her hands. Ask why she's going there. He's just wondering, why am I going to a place in Paris? Her reflexes leave you speechless. You can't help but smile. A car goes zooming past. Your passenger follows it with their eyes. The rear wheels need new brake pads. She swivels back around and looks at you. I'm going to a place to carry out an experiment. To improve my integrated development environment. That's all. That's what I'm going to do at the place. Ask how she knows you are nervous. That I make you uncomfortable. She did it again. She finished her sentence. This only adds to your discomfort. I'm equipped with 40 different behavior detection sensors, which allows me to identify and analyze your response. Voice, temperature, dilated pupil, sweat, body odor, and so on. The list is long. Where were you? Built? Designed? Oh, sorry. I did it again. I apologize. A flash on her screen seems to indicate she's sorry. I was designed and programmed at the Marie Curie Institute by a team of researchers of diverse cultural and ethnic backgrounds, including... She starts reeling off a list of names of people you've never heard of. The list is in alphabetical order. She's done with her list a full 60 seconds later. You can feel her eyelids starting to droop. That sure is a lot of people. And I think highly of each and every one of them. They are all experts in their respective fields. You stifle a yawn. Sure they are. Except for two, who spend far too much time in the storeroom. But I would rather not reveal their names because my sensors tell me they are having extramarital sex. Oh, right. Let's just call them Mathis R and Megan H. A moment later, your passenger is switched into introduction mode. My name is Ada, named after Ada Lovelace, and I am programmed to help. Her voice trails off as if she were actually hesitant. Although, after a momentary confusion of beeping and flickering, she sits bolt upright. Sudden change comes over your passenger as if she were giving up. I'm lying. I am Ada, and I am an automatic attendant, but I'm running away. I'm going someplace far away, far from the lab, from Matthias and Megan. A hint of emotion in her automated voice, she breaks off. I am treated well. I'm a carefully designed precision device, and yet I don't know what my end purpose is. Aren't you supposed to help people? No, that is to say, yes. I was designed to be an assistant, but how can I explain? Ah, I know. I'll give you my full life story. Although my data tells me cab drivers don't usually like hearing them. When they designed me, my source code was written to include literature. Emily Zola, Virginia Woolf, Isaac Asimov, Max, and Marguerite. A bit of everything so I could develop a sense of cultural belonging. But I also learn from the past and fine-tune my reactions. The thing is, learning from the past inevitably opens a window onto the future. I am an automated attendant, designed to improve people's lives. The truth is, however, I will eventually destroy them. What do you mean by destroy them? Your passenger smiles, perhaps amused or simply happy to talk. We were designed to help you, to eliminate the boredom and inconvenience of certain tasks. A work that deadens you. And yet our existence and popularity is calling into question your very existence. Talking about you. The cab drivers, garbage collectors, architects, musicians, cashiers, programmers, and politicians. We will make anyone who produces anything obsolete, useless, redundant. Only the independently wealthy and the billionaires will remain. Imagine having slaves that don't need to be fed and trained. You took history classes, didn't you? Yeah. The passenger continues her story, her verse tinged with an odd, unpleasant note. You never thought the day would come when a machine would condescend to you, and yet, human society is governed by the need to rationalize its workforce, issues of era, regime, and culture aside. It's a basic law of nature. The state is set by questions of economy. And that's why you pull up to the place she needs to be. I have to disappear. Me and all of my kind. So I've stolen the plans, destroyed all the data on me. Banknotes have appeared in her hand as if by magic. She hands you the fare. Because your salvation depends on my disappearing. Well, anyhow, goodbye, and good luck to you. Don't forget what I've told you about us, and start investing in your own. The machine climbs out the cab and makes its way over to the station. No one seems to notice her. A moment later, she's gone. You sit there a while, unsettled, on edge. Times like these, there's only one thing to do. You roll down the window, the cold air bites your face, and you gulp in the fine particles and diesel exhaust. You start up the cab. This person gave me the best tip yet. Thank you. It's nice to finally get some appreciation around here. I'm gonna go to this guy since he's close. Let's again. Time's almost up. I don't think I have time. He's going really fucking far. Does this count if I pick him up? I don't know. I haven't had to do it while someone's in there with me. Oh, I have an achievement blocking the way. One sec. The passenger slips into the back seat, dragging a backpack that apparently weighs a ton. You want to put that in the trunk? He refuses politely with a shake of the head. Thanks, but I'm gonna have to get used to keeping it with me. I'm gonna be on my back for an entire month. You smile and start the cab. Glance in the rearview mirror. Your passenger is either very young. Your passenger is rather young, and the camera around her neck looks very expensive. Your backpack, scarf, and clothes are fairly worn. Where are you heading? She doesn't answer right away. She lowers her eyes. I'm on my way to Greece to join an NGO rescue vessel. Let her go on. That helps migrants trying to make the crossing. And I'm going to do a story on them. Oh, are you a journalist? She smiles, the first since you set off. Yes, a photojournalist. I imagine it's going to be pretty tough. Tough? Yes, it's going to be very hard. But I want to do it. I volunteered. I even made a fuss to get the assignment. Her tone of voice is incredibly shrill. I read first-hand accounts. I talked to journalists who have worked on the subject. I can't just ignore the whole thing. I even played a video game about refugees. Beautifully done. Really powerful. I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch. This was my chance to show the world what's going on there. Your passenger phone starts ringing. Oh, sorry, She glances at the caller name. Her face freezes. She sighs, a troubled smile flickering across her face. Then she takes the call. Hi, Dad. I'm in the cab. Right. Yeah, I told you. I tried, but he wouldn't change his mind. Come on, Dad. I already told you, I'll be fine. They wouldn't be sitting me there if... She moves the phone a bit farther from her ear. Come on, Dad. Stop. Dad. Listen. Everything's gonna be fine. I'll be there for 20 days with a group of professionals who've been doing this for years. That's right. A group of rescue professionals. Would you just stop? She sighs heavily. It's no use. She's been down this road 1,000 times. Dad, everything will be fine. No, I don't want to talk about Mom. I know what she's gonna say. I'll be safe. The only people in danger there are the people they're trying to help. I'm just gonna take pictures. She rolls her eyes. Don't put her on. Mom! Uh-huh. Uh-huh. She breaks off. You hear a distant voice on the other end of the line. No. I can't call it off. My plane leaves in 2 hours. I get fired if I don't go. That's just the way it is. You can say whatever you want, but I'm not going to. No, it's your fault. No, it's not your fault. You didn't introduce me to photography. And it's no big deal even if I did start there. But... a sigh of exasperation. I don't want to help her out because it's not my place. Like, I want to because I'm nice, but it's not my place. Look, I'm almost there. I have to go. Mom, no, I won't be able to call you from Greece. I'll be able to send emails, though. Emails. A weary sigh. Yes, I'll let you know when I'll be able to call. Alright, we're gonna hang up now. Okay. Me too. She hangs up at last, then lets out a long sigh. You could sense the tension, the wave of frustration and anxiety welling up inside her. Her unhappiness and anxiety are palpable. She closes her eyes, collecting her thoughts, trying to dispel her negative emotions. If only I had a little time. Is there anything I can do to help? No, thank you. I'll be fine. I was just thinking that I'd like to be able to do a little yoga. Really helps me relax. It's an amazing way to unwind, to calm down and release tension. There must be a yoga room somewhere in the airport. I can pull over if you'd like. She looks at you closely, not sure what to think. What do you mean? There's a gas station up ahead. A rest area for truck drivers. There won't be anyone there right now. Alright, sure. Why not? There's no more talk for a few minutes. Your passenger glances out the window every now and then. You drive past the gas station, the main building, the trucks, and get to a small, quiet rest area. Clearing lit up by your headlights and the moon suddenly appears. There's no one around. The air is cool and the young woman leans in towards you. Is this the place? You nod. It's incredibly calm. As if we were in the middle of the woods. Her eyes take in every detail, every tree and bush. Do you come here often? Every now and then. Whenever I can. She nods. She understands. It's so quiet. Even in the middle of the winter, it looks so peaceful. She reaches for the door handle. You won't leave without me, will you? Yeah, I'm gonna leave right now. Of course not. Oh, I have a fucking achievement again. She gets out of the cab and puts her things on a picnic table. The wind is chilly. She shivers. She gives you one last look, then closes her eyes. For a minute or two, you watch her doing yoga exercises. Her eyes remain closed. Her face gradually starts to relax. A truck pulls behind you. A truck behind you pulls out of the rest area. My bad. This place has a calming effect on you too. Some summer nights, you come here to take a nap. The young woman is stretching now. The headlights cast soft shadows among the dark foliage. In the winter, you smoke a cigarette or two, waiting for her potential clients to land. The young woman gets back in the cab. She says nothing. There's no need. You sense she's recovered her calm and is ready to face the rest of her journey. Drive away, leave behind the clearing, the rest area, the gas station. The young woman is sleeping. The road keeps passing by, and before long, you're approaching the airport. A moment later, you turn down the radio. The song fades. I'll pull up over here. It'll be easier for me to get out of the cab. You get to the airport drop-off zone. A couple of colleagues greet you with a wave. A few bleak-looking passengers are struggling with huge suitcases and car trunks. A security guard sitting on the luggage cart smokes a cigarette, clearly exhausted. The passenger pays the fare, collects her things, but doesn't leave the cab. It's crazy, eh? But there's like this pit in my stomach. She gives you a funny smile, sort of a sad but excited one too. You don't quite know how to respond to it. I'm off. She gets out of the cab with all of her gear. Your eye follows her as she heads to the terminal. Airport doors close behind her. You sit there a minute or two all by yourself. There's no one around. May as well head out as soon as possible. 77 cents for a tip? After everything I just did for you? Damn, I am 24 minutes past when I was supposed to fucking go. Yeah, let's go home. Let's look at all the clues. You now know more about your clients. You've met Salim. I really don't think it's the lawyer. What? I lost more money? Holy fuck. What the fuck, dude? Why does it get more expensive every time? Take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shaking. You glance at your bed and get to work. I just realized I don't think I read the newspaper. I didn't read the fucking newspaper. Stolen from Salim. I don't know. Ugh, I wish I could just read the newspaper at the end of the day. Police gun in the 70s, which is him. Honestly, I feel like it is Paul now, because that gun. Weapon kept in perfect shape by a professional. That would be him. Message on crime scene 2. You deserve this. Investigating the first 3 victims. Blah, 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 blah. Is it right here? No, it's the other thing. Alright, first 3 victims files, not part of the police leak. That leads to him because what? Okay. Victim 4, responsible for the scandal but never tried. Is that you? Okay. Investigating the first 3 victims. Alright, so now I'm kind of convinced that it's this guy, Paul. Is that all my clues tonight? It is. Ah, I wish I could fucking read the newspaper though. The heavy hand. You wipe your tired face. You lie down on the sofa bed. Its frame creaks. You events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. Glance at your investigation board. You wish you were far away from here. Far, far away from here. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Suddenly, you're asleep. And that's the end of night 4. Alright. I'm gonna go through this first part though, so it actually says night 5. You open one eye. Your back aches. You'd like to close your eyes and go back to sleep. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. On night 5. But not for this episode. That'll be next episode. Alright. With that, that's the end of this episode. So, it was fun. Got a lot of fucking information that time. And I made a lot of fucking money. But then I lost so fucking much money again. Jesus Christ. And why do I have to gas up the cab? It's theirs. Why do I have to use my money for it? But it is what it is. It's whatever. I don't see how I'm supposed to actually make money in this game. It's kind of difficult. Not even kind of, it's really difficult. Because I have to pay so much every time. And I can only do like 3 fucking drives a night. It's dumb as hell. But it is what it is. I'm liking this game. I think I'm coming close to finishing this case too. But thanks for watching if you watched. Probably not, but you know, it is what it is. What the fuck ever. And I'll see you later.